Hey Aidan, this is Adrian Gomez with 212 Athlete. I'm excited to check this out, and we'll see what we can do to improve your velocity and make sure your arm feels good and stays intact. So your back leg squats to about 98 degrees, which is what we want. I think that looks really good. At the same time, when you come down into that squat, your chest is going forward. And then as you squat and drive, your chest has to come back this way. So it's a negative movement. You're going this way at the beginning, and then you're coming back to compensate. So what I would do is I'd keep your chest straight up and down so that you don't have to move your head as much. And I think by doing that, you're going to maximize your power and put a lot less stress on your arm while increasing command. So into plant leg, you're at 120 degrees, which is really phenomenal, which is exactly where we want to be. As you plant this front knee, we're going to measure this front knee. It's about 113. So the double leg extension, you're at 120, and this, you're a little bit low. So what happens is your knee's too low, and it doesn't allow you to retract this knee and drive your chest. It's actually this motion. So what we'd like you to do is land almost straight-legged, a little bit less bent, and as you throw, your front knee is going to retract, and that's going to be able to push your chest over top. So that combination will allow you to throw a lot harder and a lot more efficiently. It's a lot less stress on the arm. You drive through really, really well. Your hip drives through and your leg stays on the ground, but that front knee really captures a lot of energy, and there's a lot of energy leaving your leg that's not in the ball. So that's something we're going to have to work on. At ball release, you are what we call a B posture. What that means is when you start all the way over here, and when you finish all the way to the side. Okay, so you're not embracing who you are. At release point, this is who you are. And we go in front of our body and then have to move. It's just too much. So you need to try to stay back as possible, somewhere in there, so that you don't have to move your head as much. So B posture, remember that. So moving into stacking, your lower half is actually could get better by moving that knee inside, and to start to push right away. When you start doing that, your knee doesn't actually rotate. And do that a little bit sooner. Okay, but your chest is going forward, so you're going to have to fight back to get back to that position. So I'd like to see you stack back this way, but up that way. Back towards your back foot. Basically, this head stays over that rubber as long as possible. You lead with your butt. Lead with your butt, upper body stays back, and then once you plant, everything's back as far as you can, and then you have something to throw with instead of your arm, so it doesn't feel as bad. Okay, looking at the launch is pretty good. Here's what we call a late launch, which is pretty good, but a lot of that energy is absorbed into that front knee, and that's why it's not coming out as fast. So we got to learn to retract that knee, drive that chest. Looking at your front glove, you do a good job of front glove, pinch and rotate. This looks really good. I'd like to see you stack better, where your upper body is coming back, like we've talked about before. But all in all, pretty good. Okay, so let's look at your chest. Let's look at the elbow, high elbow. I'm going to measure off your chest. So you're right at 180 degrees, which is good, which is what we want you to be. We want you to be right around there. There's not a bunch of stress on the shoulder. Let's look at the hand fly out. Hand fly out. I come outside of, I believe we call it a forearm fly out. Goes outside of that elbow a little bit. And it has to deal with this knee coming back, and driving through, and then rotating across your body. I think if you do that, the hand is going to travel faster, and we're trying to reduce this to right around here. We're literally talking 3 or 4 inches, maybe even less, with the wrist. So the wrist has got to speed up to be able to not get outside of that body. But all in all, that looks really pretty good. Last thing we're going to talk about is chest extension. And this is something I think you do pretty well, but we need to make sure. So you're at 50 degrees, you're at Granke. Granke has the ability to do that as well, but Granke's knee is retracted and almost straight, and that's what's going to really send you, have the ability to do that. So, really good job. I think you do a really good job. I think stacking that front knee is going to be an issue, and then also just keep that chest the same. I think you're doing a lot of great things right. So let's get after it. Thanks so much for working with 212 Athlete. I appreciate it.